¿Qué sientes cuando ves a una persona que maltrata a un perro en la calle? ¿Qué sentimiento llega a ti cuando ves a un paseador con más de 20 perros de todos los tamaños, donde el grande liderea al grupo y el más chiquito de hasta atrás siempre va siendo arrastrado? ¿Qué opinión te merece cuando ves que en ese irregular grupo de perros no los dejan detenerse a ir al baño o a olfatear o que los tienen al rayo del sol agotándolos mientras ellos chatean con sus amigos para que al entregar al perro puedan decirle al dueño, mire nada más que cansado lo dejé, caminamos muchísimo? Amigos, gracias por estar en un episodio más aquí en el Croquetón. Hoy es una transmisión especial, pues voy a tener un enlace con Michelle McCracken. Ella es la directora de una escuela de paseadores de perros en Nueva Zelanda, lo cual me hace muy feliz, y la pueden encontrar en petschool.academy. Michelle, first of all, I want to thank you for your time here at my channel. How are you?
Hey Arturo, I'm so excited to be here. It's wonderful to talk to somebody as passionate about the well-being of dogs as I am.
Michelle, before asking you about the basic tips that all dog walkers should take into consideration before wanting to work with dogs, is there any legislation in New Zealand that limits the number of dogs with which you can go on the street, either as a trainer or as a dog walker? And if there is not, what do you think will be the maximum limit of dogs with which you can walk safely?
In New Zealand, at the moment, there aren't any rules around how many dogs one person can walk or how many dogs can be in a dog daycare. There are a group of people working on legislation, but so far there aren't any rules. And the pet care industry in New Zealand is relatively new. It's a little bit like the childcare industry was many years ago, where people want to look after these animals, but they don't know how. And with Pet School, I wanted to plug that gap. I wanted to take everything that I know, everything that I've learned, and train people to look after animals in a safe way, in a way that keeps themselves safe, but also keeps the animals safe, because it's so important. We have had some cases in New Zealand of dogs dying while in the care of a pet sitter and a dog daycare, and that's just not good enough. I think walking around 5 dogs would be enough for one person to handle. Now, some people can do more, and most people should actually be doing less. I think if you've created a pack of dogs that you know really, really well, they're of a similar age, a similar size, a similar play style, then they can have a really great time together. My biggest concern with seeing really large groups of dogs walking with one person is what happens if somebody else's dog comes into that mix. I mean, this dog walker may have their own dogs under control, but how are they going to prevent somebody else's dog from coming in and potentially starting a fight? And if there is a fight, how is one person going to break up a dog fight that could involve 20 dogs? So I always like to think of the worst case scenario, make sure I have a plan to prevent that from happening, and then we can go out on our walks.
Okay, now in relation to this, tell me what are the basic aspects that every person who would like to work with dogs should have in mind?
I would like dog walkers to always carry the right gear, so leashes, harnesses, a first aid kit, spare water. I want them to consider where they're taking the dogs, make sure there's enough shade, and also consider the time of day or the temperature, because if the pavement is too hot for your hand, then it's too hot for your dog's feet. I really want all dog walkers to be able to read and understand dog body language. So much tension can be removed from your dog walk if you understand how your dogs are feeling. It's the most important part of working with dogs. They do communicate really, really well, but you need to be paying attention and you need to understand what it is they're trying to say. I recommend starting with one dog at a time and getting to know that dog really well, and then gradually adding another dog and perhaps another dog, but doing it really slowly so that you really understand the dogs that you're with. I walk a group of dogs every week, and I've walked them for many, many years, so I understand each dog individually. I know what they like, I know what they don't like, I know when they're happy to meet another dog, I know when they don't want to meet another dog. And I also know when they can smell a rabbit, and I know that I need to leash them up to prevent them from running off into the forest. There is more to walking dogs than just loving dogs. That's a really good starting point, but you really need to be able to understand dog body language before you should be going out and walking people's dogs.
Okay, I think it's perfect to take into consideration this point of view, which also they seem logical, may in many cases not be put into practice. I also want to mention that it's worth recognizing that every time there are more people who want to earn their money and living in a honest way, like walking with dogs, but without a doubt, they are living things with emotions, with feelings, and that for many are part of our family and we love them like our children. Don't you think that, Michelle?
All of my clients completely adore their dogs. They wouldn't send them out with just anyone, and I am just as committed to their dog's safety and well-being as they are. And I also look at my dogs on a very individual basis because they all have their own likes and dislikes and their own history and their own threshold. So I love working with my dogs. I understand them. I think it's a fabulous career, and I would love other people to do it. I would love other people to enjoy it, but I really can't stress how important it is to get some training.
Muy bien, amigos, bueno, pues como pueden darse cuenta y nos lo comenta una profesional del ramo, pues como para toda actividad debemos estar preparados correctamente. Thank you very much, Mitchell, for sharing your knowledge and giving us a little of your time. I hope to see you soon here.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been really fun. I hope that your viewers have learned something that will help them in their dog walking career, or if your viewers are mainly dog owners, I hope they've learned a bit more about dog walking and the sort of questions they should be asking their dog walker before letting them take their dogs out. Bye.
Y gracias a ti por compartir esta información. Soy Arturo Cruz. Te recuerdo que no se te olvide activar la campanita de notificaciones, suscribirte al canal y compartir esta información. Les decía, soy Arturo Cruz y les recuerdo que se puede vivir sin un perro, sin un gato, pero no vale la pena. Saludos.